Welcome to the What She Taught Me podcast.
Unfiltered conversation between a mom who's lived it
And a daughter who's still figuring it out.
Awesome. I'm Latoya.
And I'm Lanoya. And
we-
no, we're not twins, even
I
if
know,
we
right?
our names sound alike. And people
very-
always tell us we look alike.
Yeah. It's very difficult sometimes for some persons to get our names. Latoya
And Lanoya.
and Lanoya.
Yeah, every time they're like, "What's your name?" And I'm like, Lanoya. And then they forget and they're like, "Oh my goodness, I say just remember my name is like Latoya, but with an N, Lanoya." And eventually they
But
get
you
it.
do have a beautiful name.
Thank you. You
Thanks.
gave it to me.
I just need to take this moment to let it
not
sink
too
in.
much. No, not too
Yeah,
much.
I made up your name.
Yes, great job. But yeah, people always tell us we look alike, guys. What do you think? But sometimes it puts me in a tough situation because I'm like, why do we look alike? Is it because she looks young or I look old? And I have to always ask, like, okay, but it's always a flex for her because she's like, oh my gosh, I look like this young daughter. But I'm like, okay, I have no problem with looking like you. Obviously, you birthed me, but I'm also like, do I look older?
So are you saying I look old?
I never said you looked old. I said you look older.
Oh my God.
Older is just older is anyone who's just older than me.
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't understand what you're saying. When persons say that we're so like what you missed out on is that persons ask whether we are sisters.
Yes, or this one time they thought we were friends. This lady,
Yeah.
she was like, "Oh my gosh, you guys look so cute. Are you like best friends?" And I'm like, "Girl, that's my mother."
Aren't
She's
we
like,
best
"Oh my
friends?
gosh!" But yes, we are best friends, but we're more than just best friends.
I love it so much when she sees me as one of her best friends.
Okay, mommy, not too much now. Anyway, welcome to our podcast. We're so happy that you joined us.
Yes, happy to have you here. We hope that our conversation here can bring some light to you, and you at some point can identify with whatever we say on here, because this is the reason why we are here. We have gone through some troubled waters, some stormy waters, some stormy seas, but we've had lovely, beautiful moments
And
together.
seasons, yes.
Yes, we've had wonderful seasons where we grew together, and although the conversation is between a mom who's lived it and a daughter who's
Still figuring it out.
I'm also still figuring it out,
Yes.
and you have also
Lived some of those moments.
Yes, there are some moments that you have lived that I didn't get to live, and I'm happy to see you actually get to live it. So what we see there is that as your mom who has lived it, I can also learn from you, in the moments that you've lived, and even the moments that I have lived. I lived it in a different era, and you living it in this current era.
Yes, Gen Z.
It has me thinking, and we were talking about the soft girl, strong woman kind of era, certain situations where I was taught how to be. I was taught that for me to survive this, I needed to be strong in a different way.
Yes.
And now in the era that you live in, the Gen Z era,
We have adapted a soft girl aesthetic.
Strength it comes in another way.
Yes, in a softness.
Yes. Where my strength would have come from fighting, persevering,
being a millennial.
Yes.
She's not that old, guys. Well, not old. She's not old at all. But yeah, and that also gives us a look into the name of the podcast, What She Taught Me. This is us, both of us
learning
learning
each
and
other.
teaching each other. So it's not just what my mom taught me, but also what I have taught her, having experienced different things in a different time. Every day I'm telling her about what's popping on the internet, even if she's always on Facebook Reels. But
Can we cut this out?
we have a lot of conversations about what's going on, and what how I'm experiencing it, and just life.
Yeah. And we know from the word that there is nothing new under the sun. So
Yes.
nothing that you go through now has not been experienced before. Maybe
Yes.
not by me, but maybe by my mom, or
Mm-hmm.
maybe not my mom, by my mom, but by my mom's mom, who is
Yes.
still alive. You know, she's
Mom.
101.
One.
Yes, old, and she looks beautiful.
She's old, but she's a soft girl old.
Yeah, yeah,
Even if
yeah.
she has grown in a strong woman era. So let's break that down though, mommy. What does that look like? A strong woman.
In so I'm gonna talk about it in my time.
Yes, yes.
For me, growing up, a strong woman would be a woman who would literally tie her waist,
With the cloth.
literally tie her waist,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and that means when she ties her waist, she's ready to
About
work.
to get things done.
Yes.
Yeah.
So she's taking care of babies, she's taking care of her man, her husband. She's taking care of the household. She's taking care of the
Mm-hmm.
family gardens. She's taking care of her maybe her parents. And she's just taking care and handling her business. But during those days, strength required you to be quiet.
Mm-hmm.
Strength required you to be quiet, because if you speak out, you may be deemed as a troublesome woman,
Mm-hmm. Or the, the
you
the
know?
saying about girls should be seen and not heard, that kind of
Exactly.
mentality.
Even coming
Yeah.
from the Bible era, women are supposed to be quiet. So I grew up in a time where women were just trying to come out of this.
Okay.
So by going to school, getting an
Mm-hmm.
education, not wanting to be what their mother was, or their mother's mother, whatever generation before them, from baby bloomers to the um, quiet generation, and indeed they were quiet because they did not speak.
Mm-hmm.
So no matter what way your husband treated you, if he did
Mm-hmm.
not take care of you, if he wanted to stay
What
home
stays in the
and
house
not
stays
work, or
home.
if he just wanted to go to work in the morning, whatever work he had to do out of the house, come back in, stay in with his foot up,
Mm-hmm.
and you being home all day, probably maybe you were even at work with him, maybe depending on the type of work that
Mm-hmm.
you would have done. Most times in those days would have been cottage industries, where you would have had farming, and families working together, and the wife would still come home and take care, cook the
Cook,
food,
bathe the
tend to the
children.
children and all
Yeah.
this, and the husband sits there and relaxes, yeah, and the husband gets his food on his plate, and then you describe as a woman and
Mm-hmm.
as a wife, okay, because you had to submit to your
Mm-hmm.
husband.
Mm-hmm.
And in those days, a love between men and a man and a woman,
Mm-hmm.
it was kind of it was kind I cannot speak much to it, so I prefer not
Okay. Yeah,
say to
that's
it,
fine.
because when I grew up, my granddad was uh, he passed on when I was a baby. He died the same year that I was born,
Mm-hmm.
and I did not grow up with my father.
Mm-hmm.
So I really didn't have the privilege to grow up in a home with a father
And a
and a
mother,
mother,
the
and
nuclear
I
family.
missed out on this. So when I had you, I was determined to have you not experience it
Mm-hmm.
that way.
Mm-hmm.
But God had
Yeah,
other.
I experienced it for what,
Yeah, you did.
9 years until my father passed away.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you did, and it was to for you to see the love,
Mm-hmm.
how it could be, or it could have been. So strong for me in that era was just doing everything a woman should do, without complaining, without talking about it, without considering what you would prefer. but you just do it because it was expected of you.
Okay.
And now we, especially with your generation, we can see for sure that this is not strength.
Yeah. Well, with our generation, I think it's quite similar in the perspective of that we know what we are expected to do. You know, we're still expected to be wives. I still see people all over social media who have pride in being housewives and stay-at-home moms. You know, always saying the get ready with me as a stay-at-home mom. And you know, there's still that expectation, and a lot of the women are still want to be wives and mothers, but it has shifted into this not being quiet about it, um, also not being ashamed about it, and also setting standards and boundaries. So, you know, we do also have a lot of women who are not into the whole wife children thing. But right now the shift I see with my generation in terms of soft girl era is that they're concentrating or putting a lot of emphasis and pride in just being, but being on their own terms. So if you see a video of somebody doing, I'm in my soft girl era, and they're a stay at home wife, it's not because they're forced. Yes, it's not because they didn't have a choice. It's not because they're forced. It's because that's something they find pride and satisfaction in. And then we have another set of women who are like me. You know, we're still young. We're not really in. We're not married and have children yet, but we find that joy and satisfaction in just being a woman and just taking care of ourselves and not having to be extra or not having to fit into this certain standard or expectation, but be doing and being who we want to be based on our standards. You know, everybody's different. You know, some people are not into, like I said, they're not into the wife and daughter, not daughter, sorry, the wife and kids thing. Some of us are wife and mother. Yes, sorry. Some people are not into the wife and mother thing, and some of us are into it. But right now, we're just not I won't say prioritizing, because there's a time and place for everything.
You're taking your time with it.
Yes, and we don't feel, well, there's still this thing where people are like, they feel like they're missing out, they should hurry. But I feel like our generation has moved into, we're taking our time. You know, it's okay not to have to be a mother and a wife by 23. You know, and also finding pride in that and finding joy in that and accepting that and making. I've seen so many women come out on social media and they're like, you know, spend a day with me as someone who still lives with her parents and still figuring it out. So I feel like the difference between that strong woman and the soft girl is the things that your generation was quiet about, our generation is proud and loud about and are learning to be okay with it. Yeah.
You mentioned a very important word, and it's choice. Because and the choices also, and the expectations around you. Because I know in my my mom's generation and the generations before me, it would expect it is an expectation that at a certain age, by 25 you should have been married. By 18 you are in a relationship or married, and if you're not married by 25, then something is wrong with
Cast
you.
out of society.
And you still see that stigma today in society. Because for me, at my age, as a single woman, I have gotten a lot of people thinking that there is something wrong with me for being single, you know, not knowing that I have been married before. So the expectations of society that at a certain age you must be in a certain place in your life to call it success. And this kind of puts pressure on both male and female. But because we are girls and we're talking about girls, ladies, so in my time, well, I would say my mom and my mom's mom, I would like to talk about them more, because the transition really came with me, the millennials.
Yes.
We wanted to do different. So most of us, we began to go to school. We went to college, you know, moved on, got careers, you know, got married at the age that we wanted. Some of us,
Yes.
we decided that we did not want to get married, but we did not want to be married, but we had our children, our kids.
Mm-hmm.
So then we were actually taking, in my generation, we are actually taking control because we saw what our parents went through.
Mm-hmm.
And we decided that, hey, I do not want this for me. Now, we did not really have a choice while we were young in the way
Yeah.
we were raised.
Raised, yeah.
So the difference came in when we millennials decided we were going to have our children and that we would raise them in the soft girl era.
Mm-hmm.
And we were intentional about it, raising our children to appreciate their beauty, appreciate
Mm-hmm.
themselves,
Yeah.
not to be taken advantage of by male or female or anyone, but for
Mm-hmm.
you to believe in yourself.
Yeah.
We work hard and we sacrifice to give you all a career, and well, let me say an education
Mm-hmm.
to form your identity. And you can see this in our relationship. As you know, I sacrifice to have you become something that I did not have then,
Yeah. Yeah.
because we wanted to break that generational
Mm-hmm. Cycle curses. Yeah.
cycle. I do not want to put it as a curse,
Oh, it was
a
there.
cycle.
Yes.
But yet still, when it comes to breaking those generational cycles to become better, because there's always growth. We should not remain stagnant, and I believe in it. The person you were yesterday, you should not be that same person
Yeah.
today, because there should have been some experience that you had yesterday, you went through,
Mm-hmm.
which will change your mindset for the better, where you might just tell yourself, hey, I don't want to go through it again,
Mm-hmm.
instead of repeating the same thing constantly, and we remain at the same level. So in the effort to change those, or to break those generational cycles, sometimes some of us would have lost some of our values along the way. So in the effort to have a soft girl and a strong woman in the children that we've raised, some of us have raised our children to be selfish.
Mm. Okay. Okay.
So it's important to realize that even while we are building ourselves,
Mm-hmm.
our growth,
Mm-hmm.
our development into becoming strong, and to still bring out the soft girl in us, where we take care of ourselves, our mental health,
Yeah.
that it does not take us away from what's actually around us,
Mm-hmm.
but it just helps us to realize that we have choices to do better than what was done yesterday, today.
Yes. So two things. I think one, it's important to know that, soft girl, it's nothing new. It's just now that we have labeled it as soft girl. But
That's
it
important.
has always been there, And when I say it has always been there, I don't necessarily mean in the time of boomers or millennials, but the process of building soft girls have not started in 2022 or 2020 when it was branded as soft girls. So that has gone for a while. And two, I think it's important to know that soft girl and strong woman is not different in a way where we think soft means weak and strong woman is strong. I think it's definitely not that soft girls are strong women and strong women can be soft girls are soft girls.
Yes.
But the main
High
difference
five.
is this girl. But the main difference is, like she said, the choice and choosing and the change in attitude and values and the way we have operated. So that's the main thing. So our millennials, even if they have been raised with the strong woman mentality, a lot of them have become soft girls while still maintaining that strong woman. And we Gen Z, who have probably been raised to be soft girls, are going through trials and tribulations that are building us into strong women. So I think it's important to know that these things can be together. And soft girl doesn't mean you're weak, my love. Strong woman doesn't mean that you can't have this softness. about you. You can't,
Yeah.
it doesn't mean that you're rough. You know, I think it's important that we establish that, and we would say it's just there's a difference in lifestyles and how we choose or chose to just go about life. And I think
Yes.
it's a beautiful thing that we have moved into this era of accepting and choosing to just live life, of course, according to God's
To
law.
smell the roses.
Yes, of course, living life according to God's law. But I think it's important that we have moved into this thing where we don't have to feel like we're behind because we're not married by 23, or feel like we're behind because we want to do something maybe your parents may have not agreed with and stuff. And I think we've moved into this place where we're showing others that this world is full of so many possibilities, and as a woman, as a girl, nothing is impossible with God that we can achieve. Mm-hmm. Girl.
I just feel good, that with the help of God, that I can raise such a
soft girl, strong
girl.
woman.
My Lord. but is real. Soft girl, it's especially needed in relationships.
Mm-hmm.
The softness allows you to see that you are not alone.
Yeah.
You can be dependent on other sources.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, God is our
you
first,
don't have to
our
do it
main
alone.
source.
Yeah.
And as a soft girl, you know that it takes a community.
Yes.
It takes a community.
Yes, Lord.
So you have these relationships,
Mm-hmm.
even in your romantic relationship with your guy.
Yeah, boo.
You can you can be like vulnerable to feel needed a little,
Yeah, God created us that way.
Yeah, so we the contrast for me there is that when we hear the word soft, we believe that it requires some not some but complete independence.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Being strong means that I can do it
by myself.
I can do it. I do not need you. I do not need this. I can do it. And it kind of lends into the feminist movement. But being strong, to me, in my life as a millennial, means to be able to stand with God at my side and my community against the trials which comes my way, because we know we have them. We are not immune to them. And they come to us, and the challenges, they come to us. And again, I can speak as a single woman. I can speak as a wife. When I was married, your dad and I, we would go through those conversations. So the stresses, the weight of certain decisions or certain eras or seasons in our lives was spread out between the two of us. But when he was no longer there, it was all on me to make the hard decisions. There are still some decisions that it's difficult.
Mercy.
Yes, it's difficult to do it on your own, because you know that you're gonna bear the liability on your own. But it's easier when you have someone with you. Now, as a single woman, my strength comes from knowing that I have a community, and that community, well, you right now, you're closer to me. God is at the top, and then I have the others around me, my family and my friends, in whatever way they may support me, just maybe by a word, to encourage me. And I do the same for others, So this is where my strength comes, that I can stand up, wake up, and face every day with that perseverance that I need, that resilience to get things done and to achieve things. So, and my soft girl is also realizing that I need people.
Most definitely.
I need a man. I need my daughter. I need a community. I need my church.
Yes,
I need
yes. Because
friends.
nobody can do it
Because you
alone.
cannot do it on alone.
No.
And being able to know that I can be myself.
You need your girls, that community of women, that community of strong
Yes.
women and soft girls.
Being vulnerable, being
Mm-hmm.
able to speak and say the things that I feel inside that
Yes.
needs to be spoken out loud.
Yeah.
So someone can say, I feel you, girl.
Mm-hmm.
I've been there with
Been
you.
there.
You can do this. This is the moment where the softness comes, where you can be vulnerable. You
Mm-hmm.
can express those deep secret quote. There are certain things that we will not or we should not
Yes, share
speak
with
about,
others. Yeah.
especially if the secret is between you and someone else.
Yeah.
But certain things that I would have experienced, and in my experience, even on my other podcast, what I realized is that being transparent about the things that I've gone through in
Mm-hmm.
life, the different traumas that I've experienced,
Helps you.
it has given me a soft girl attitude
Mm-hmm.
that has made me into a strong woman.
Yes.
Because I feel like I'm not carrying that weight,
Mm-hmm.
that secret, that whatever I went through. It has me thinking that I am not alone. So now it's like, what do you
Yes.
have on me?
Yeah.
What
No,
do you
I
have
get
on me?
that. I get that. Because like we were saying, the soft girl is accepting and choosing like your path and choosing to be satisfied with who you are and the position you are in life. So in order to be okay with being single at 30, in order to be okay with still living with your mom or your dad, in order to be okay in certain seasons of your life, you have to talk about it. You have to unload and accept that. So it is definitely a part of the process.
Yeah, when we tend to be in different stages in life, especially when we're trying to heal and we're trying to grow and
Mm-hmm.
we're trying to develop, society sees it as a weakness.
Mm-hmm.
When you've gone through certain experiences, like you're weak, but
Yeah.
it's not a weakness. It means that you're growing. And like you mentioned, when you accept that you're growing, when
Mm-hmm.
you've accepted that this is just a season,
Yes.
and you set goals for yourself, it gives you something to look forward to.
Mm-hmm.
It gives you something to look forward to, and you have a different attitude.
Yeah.
So where you're just resilient, you have that strength to conquer whatever
Yes.
comes your way, but you have that softness to realize
Mm-hmm.
I'm not in it
And it's
alone.
easier to walk with your head high because what are you ashamed of? I
Yeah.
live in it. I've accepted it. I know that this is where I am right now,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm not. Sometimes you're not satisfied, but you're okay with it, and you're just going to keep on moving to
That's
get to the
healing.
point
That's
where
healing.
you want to be
So,
eventually.
so how would you say this soft girl, strong woman is helping you in your as a Gen Z?
Well, you know, I've definitely gone through this whole shift where I'm moving from being a teenager to being a young woman. And I
A
just
young adult.
a young adult. And I've just been learning so much about myself and just habits and practices and just finding joy in certain things like taking care of yourself as a woman. And and
Man, every time you say the word woman, that's my little girl. Go ahead.
but yes. Yeah. So that the soft girl and strong woman is basically just teaching me how to be a woman.
Teaches you how.
It teaches me how to move forward, how to um um tackle everyday struggles and how to answer the questions that are in my head, wondering how I should do this or what I should do and stuff. And it's just helped me be okay with where I'm right now and where I'm going to continue moving. And I think it's I don't know, it's just so insane to me that when you have switched into this from a child to an adult, and there's just so much things you're learning and so many things you find joy in. Like I saw this meme about you're an adult when you get excited about appliances and for your kitchen. I haven't gotten to that stage yet, but there's definitely been a shift in what I've enjoyed and the my beliefs and how I view certain things, and of course my core beliefs.
Look for lots of clouds.
with a high of 82 degrees Fahrenheit and a low of 64 degrees. Of course, my core beliefs are still there. My inner child is still there. But soft girl and strong woman is helping me build onto that and eventually become the woman I aspire to be.
Yeah. And I think for you, you've been experiencing my strong woman era. You've been right there as I
Yes.
went through many changes in my life.
Yes.
So it would have been a lot in theory for you. So now you're in a place where everything that you've heard, you've seen, it's happening to you step by step. You're seeing life happening to you. And when those moments come out, like I would say to you, welcome to adulthood. I would say this to you because you would be like, and I'm like, yeah.
This is what it is.
This is what it is. This is what it is. Yeah. When you had your little allowance, you could have just spent it the way
now you got a budget.
Yeah.
I just made a budget on my bank app the other day because I had to be like, girl, we need to put a limit on certain things.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you're learning to make those decisions that will impact your life, and then you realize it's not a game.
Yes.
It's real. It's not a rehearsal.
No, because oh my gosh, like the switch is insane. Because I feel like even now the conversations, when you're younger, they don't want to talk about things like sex and those.
Not me.
Okay, but in general, when you're younger, they're just certain topics that are just off limits, and then you just switch into that adulthood, and now you're having conversations about these things, and you just experience certain things, and you're just like, oh my goodness, this is a lot. And just to bring it down a bit, I've seen people talk about this adulting thing can be so depressive and so heavy, and that's why you stress the importance of community and also being intentional, because even being post-grad, I just graduated from college, and moving into this season where you see some of your friends are getting married, some of your friends are getting cars and getting engaged and going to grad schools and stuff. It's easy to get into this whole comparing yourself thing, and then you slip into this depression, and now you're just like, this adulting thing is hard. But then when you realize adulting is hard for everybody, but why do some adults seem happier than others? And that's when that soft girl era thing needs to be developed, because it's not that it's not hard, it's just our approach to it and utilizing our community. And I'm not saying if you have a community you cannot be depressed. I'm not saying if you have certain things you can't be impressed, but it helps. It really helps. Get yourself outside the house, get yourself out of that funk. We know it's hard. We does. We might not look like we've been through some stuff, but believe me when I said we've been through some stuff, she's been through some stuff, for real. And it's hard for everyone, but what is keeping us afloat? What's allowing us to live, not just survive, but live and thrive?
I want to stick a pin in here, as you mentioned community, and you mentioned that even though you are in a community, you can still feel depressed and you can still feel alone.
Yeah.
Apart from the health reasons, your hormones that you can't really control. But you get you get to learn how you respond to what life hits you. But what I really wanted to say is that you can have the most energetic, big, engaging community. If you keep lying to yourself, you will be depressed.
Okay.
I know of people.
Expound.
Yes. I know of people who have, like me, I do not have a large community.
Yeah.
Very, very, on one hand, especially where we are now, one hand, I can count the people that are in my space, and I do not have people that I speak to on a daily basis like this. Maybe 1 or 2 persons that I might speak maybe every other day,
Yeah,
you
when
know.
my phone do playing is what coach,
Yeah,
maybe coach sending me an ad or scammers texting me.
yeah. And I do not have, like when you get out of your home and there's noise everywhere, and you have people who are
Ooh,
from those type of communities where
yes.
you have an extended
Extended
family and
families.
friends, and people come to visit, and they're still stressed because most of these people are fake. They live fake lives.
Okay,
They
expound.
pretend to be something that they're not. And I've realized that the more you pretend that you're living a happy life and you're not, the more stressed you will be. The more you will develop heart problems. The more you'll develop any hormonal problems. The more you will develop it. The more you pretend that certain things do not affect you when they do, the more stressed you will be.
Yes.
So even if you have everyone around you and you have your environment around you, your community, your family, and you are not true to yourself, you will feel stress. There is no shame in the game. You're not the first, you're not the last.
And that's what I appreciate about Gen Z. A lot of people have become more open with their struggles, the mental disorders. Like I said, some people are still living with their parents at what age 30 and stuff. And I feel like that shift and being okay and, like you said, true to yourself about those struggles, it's okay, and it helps you not slip into that whole depressive state.
And to add to what you're saying, and maybe to put a contrast to it, is that you might find a lot more Gen Zs being depressed.
And why do you think so?
Because they lack community. So the downside, like some of us would have it and still be depressed.
And some
but
of us
they
are
lack
depressed
it
because they don't
because
have it.
you're in technology 24/7, and your life and the way you compare your life is based on things you see on the screen and people you've never met on the screen.
And you don't even
That's
know
your life.
what they did to get it.
Exactly.
And what's behind the camera.
And looking for attention. This is why you see many persons on social media, influencers, quote unquote.
Ooh,
they do
are
anything,
we influencers?
depending on what we're influencing. They just for the numbers, the attention that they want to maintain, they would go through all lengths to do it.
Yes.
And later on, you will find these people, even celebrities, you'll find out that they've been depressed all their life. They've been on drugs all their life, trying to survive, because the image that they're putting out there, it just goes back to what I'm saying. Doesn't matter what generation that you fall in, being true to yourself. You bankrupt, I'm bankrupt. And guys, literally, I'm bankrupt.
Oh.
You're lonely.
I'm lonely.
You're
guys,
lonely.
No, literally, I'm lonely. Yes.
Guys, I'm lonely. You want a man? You want a wife or a husband? Guys, yes, I want a man or a husband. I mean, you don't go on social media and you have that conversation.
But there's nothing to
but
be
you
ashamed.
Speak out, because then you might find that, hey, here is this man that you thought who had it all together.
Also
I'm just talking
wants a wife.
Also wants, yeah. But you're pretending like, I'm good. I'm good on my own. I don't need anyone. No,
I'm not good on my own.
You need to have that softness.
We're still figuring it out. We're all still figuring it out. You could be 50, 40, 30, 20. Maybe you've reached, Maslow's hierarchy of needs, self-actualization, the tip of the ice. No, that's why they said that even getting to that point is rare.
You might just find yourself getting back to the border.
Yeah, because we're just all figuring it out, and that's okay. And then again, that soft girl plus strong woman combo, soft man and strong man combo, is just living and breathing and being okay in that still figuring it out mindset. Yeah,
that you can't do it on your own. And as believers, as Christians, Jesus, is the center of it all for us. Yes, and Lord. He has just kept us, Yeah. Man, do you know what it is to have a good cry? That your eyes get swollen. I have tiny eyes. You too, small eyes.
Yes.
So by the time I cry, for 1 minute, my eyes have already shrinked. Well, non-existence. My eyes are pretty small. So when I have those cries and I cry to God, you know, then I express to Him exactly how I feel inside. Whatever I feel. And okay, so something you know about me on my journey to getting that soft girl, strong girl, I'm very transparent and vulnerable. So I speak things and that some persons might tend to think, and I respect this. This is you, and everyone is entitled to his or her choice, even with my daughter. But I feel like I'm at a point in life that I do not have too much to hide. At my age, people around my age, we've gone through a lot of things, and we're not going to be pretending that we've never gone through it. So as a woman who has been single, as a matter of fact, see the date of today?
Yes.
Wow. So as a woman who has been single for 11 years.
Ooh.
Single. I haven't had a man. I go to God and I speak to Him about it. But then in my strong girl ear, that's my soft girl. And when I will speak to some friends that I know I can have this conversation with, I say, girl, I'm not seeing a man out there and it seems God forgets me or something like that. That's when I'm in my soft girl era, that I'm being true to how I feel at the moment. And I'm like, damn, I'm lonely. And I really feel like I could just dress up and go out with a partner and, have some fun, and or probably fall asleep on the phone and having, those conversations. You know what I'm talking about, right, girl? My young. So this is my soft girl moment.
Being true
to how I feel at the moment. Yeah. But my strong woman moments, or what I maintain despite having my soft girl moment, is that I can still live. I can still enjoy the moments. I can still stand on my own. I can still dress up and take myself to dinner on my own. Yes. I can still even not be in a conversation with a man whispering sweet nothings in my ears, but I can watch a Netflix and chill on my own. You know what I'm talking about?
And you don't have to necessarily let your singleness define you, and every space you go, you just depressed.
I'm depressed about it. No. So I have those moments, and this is what we're talking about. I mean, that's a real example. That's a real example.
It is.
So I have the moments where I realize this is my season, but my season right now does not define me. So when I'm using my strong woman attributes, I can put it as this, I realize that I do not need a man to be happy.
Yeah.
I do not need a man. At the moment, I feel lonely. And I have gotten to the point where I know a husband is just an addition to what I have going on. But I don't remain the moment where I'm always complaining or seeing what I don't have. My strong girl era is, be of service, build, do what you have to do, be resilient. And my strong girl era, my strong girl attributes always also teaches me that I do not have to settle. It also teaches me that I do not believe that because I have that softness that I just pick up any person or anything out there to cover me or to complete me. So this is where I am strong while realizing that I still need.
And there's also just a little side note, because I know when people hear this thing about I don't need a man, they see it as this feminist thing that you want to be independent, which is not the case right now, because that would go against everything we just said about having a community and stuff. So it's not about not needing a man. Is not that I can do it by myself. It's just that for now, I'm in a space where I don't have a man. That's reality. Accepting it and moving through that. God is taking care of me. And then when he's ready to send a man.
Well, I love to be soft girl
because
because
you need the man,
I'm
but
tired
you
of changing tires on my own.
because you need the man, but you don't need the man, you know. So it's
Yeah,
not
I
this thing
can
about
live without him.
yeah.
I
Because
have done so
you know
for
what's
all
crazy?
these
I actually
years.
saw this person who said that um that mercy. I don't want to say this, but I know I saw this person who was talking about that basically there's nowhere in the Bible that guarantees that we will all be married and have a man, and that's that's the reality of it and stuff. But God did create us to have that companionship.
But
So
it's a choice.
yes, it is.
It's
So
a
it's not
choice.
this thing about feminists, I don't need a man. No, 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 no. We're just saying that in the moment, again, accepting that
This is
we've
this
taken.
season.
Yeah, I remember this funny little joke. This one time I traveled, and I had my bags, and I was surrounded by male no what male relatives, and we're about to go up, and I'm pulling my bag, and I'm getting my suitcase, my big suitcase, and I'm about to pull it up and stuff, and one of my male relatives were like, like, I got it for you, are you one of those feminists that think you could do everything? And I had this moment, I was like, whoa, but it's in my nature. I haven't had a dad in 11 years, same way you've been single for 11 years. So I have learned to do things on my own, and I've learned how to survive on my own. I've learned how to love
Without the
myself.
male.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
And that was just in my nature, because my father's not here. I don't.
What can you do?
I don't. Yes, that's what I have to do.
This is where you persist.
Yeah. So in that moment,
that's the strength in you.
Yeah. So in that moment, I'm like, I don't need a man to carry my luggage because I've got it. But at the same time, I want to be married. I want to have my husband. I do want a man to carry my suitcase.
Luggage,
yes,
yeah.
my luggage and stuff. So it's not necessarily like this ridiculous. It's not necessarily this whole feminist independent thing, but it's just in the moment. That's what you're faced with. Yes.
This is what you're faced with, and this is the best example, I think. I mean, God is good. There was no script for the conversation that we were having there,
just chatting,
and we found ourselves in that space where we were just trying to merge the soft girl, strong woman together as a combo, as you mention it. And this was just an example, using the need for a man in your life. It was just an example to show how you can still be soft and strong at the moment. So in the generations before me, as a millennial, they did not recognize this soft girl era so much.
Yeah,
there was not much of a choice. Things needed to be done, and they had to do it. The time was that this had to be done. The earth, they were supposed to be fruitful and multiply. They were supposed to leave their parents' home at a particular age. Or most times, they would have grown up or been raised in those extended household, but there was a sort of independence that each person needed, as the women needed, to bring their part. Like what we hear now, what do you bring to the table? So in those days, this is what women had to bring to the table.
And when they were not able to do so, when they didn't get married, when it was more of like I'm ashamed, I'm quiet about it, But then now we have this soft girl era that's like, okay, I didn't get married by 25 like I planned when I was 6 years old or 9 years old, but it's okay. It's gonna come. It's just a season for now, and we're gonna move.
And we can even switch this to the biblical era in the time of Hannah, when she did not have a child when she was supposed to, after being married.
Samuel?
Yes. And then you have Sarah, who came before Hannah, and you also had Isaac's mom, and you also
Elizabeth.
Yes.
And come on, Bible scholar.
And you also had Rachel
and Ruth.
Well, Ruth too.
She was waiting for her Boaz. Yeah, she was a widow, and she was waiting for her Boaz.
My mind was just on like babies, but you're right.
Oh,
so you have all these women who were were at certain points in their lives and were not able to bring certain things to the table based on society's standards, and how depressed they found themselves, how an outcast they were because they were not able to have the child.
Their faith dwindled.
Yes. You have oh my goodness, the name slipped me.
Is this a male Bible character?
No, it's a female.
Okay.
Oh my goodness,
Give
this
time.
one.
The strong woman has been for so much. She needs some time to remember.
Oh
but yeah.
She, oh God, maybe we can probably put it in there. But she lost her husband. She came in the, oh my goodness, my brain, I'm not even good. My brain just went blank.
And that's okay.
As a strong woman, but she was a Midianite, just as Ruth was. And she owed one of Judah's wife.
Who's Judah?
Not Judah's wife, Judah's son. Judah.
Are you talking about
Joseph.
like Rachel and her sister?
No, Judah was Rachel's. Sorry, Judah was Jacob's son, Joseph's brother.
Yes.
One of his son's wife. I'm trying to remember her name.
Okay, we'll just put it in.
But yes, you'll just put it in the comments. And her husband died, and she did not have any children. And she actually tricked Judah into sleeping with her so she can have this her child, because he promised her that he would have given her one of Judah's one of his sons, and he did not. So she tricked him into marrying. But that's another conversation. But again, it just shows here. And I love this story. And guys, I do apologize. I just went blank for a moment. Okay. And I am a Bible scholar. And I just can't remember the name. And there are two of them in the Bible with this name.
But going on
the other one was David's daughter. And the name just does not want to come to my mind.
Yeah, I don't remember her name either. But we could get
yes. So even from Bible times, you would have seen that when women at a certain point were not able to bring in that strong woman persona by bringing to the table what was expected of them by society, they found themselves being depressed and all of this.
Yeah.
And they were not able, when they actually did show the soft girl era, like in the case of Hannah, when she found herself in the temple, praying every day, that was it Eli who told her that, is she drunk? Because she was just there talking and praying because she wanted that baby, she wanted that son. And she was in her soft girl moment while she is connecting to God, knowing that she cannot do it on her own.
Yeah.
And so many years later, thousands of years later, we still find ourselves in that same place, where there is a need for us to be strong and soft at the same time. And I hope, our listeners can really understand, for what we mean by being soft and strong together. And it's just being aware that you can't do it on your own. You need a community, being soft, being vulnerable, being transparent with who you are, what you experience, what you're feeling, and also being strong enough to realize that this is what it is. What am I going to do about it? How am I going to persevere through it? How am I going to be resilient so that I do not remain in that situation? How am I going to not just survive, but thrive?
Yes. So to our viewers out there, men and women, because we also mentioned that soft boy and strong boy, that soft boy and strong man thing.
Yeah.
We just want to encourage you out there to tap in with that part of yourself, that soft girl, that soft boy, that strong man, that strong woman. Ask yourself, what is it that you are struggling with that you need to face and live in? I ask yourself, am I living just waiting to die, or am I thriving and living in my struggles and trying to make every day meaningful? Ask yourself, how am I developing myself? What is am I utilizing my community? Why am I depressed? What's going on, and tapping in with those different parts of ourselves so we could reach our full potential, so that we could address those things that are holding us back, that are
Mm-hmm.
preventing us from entering that soft girl, soft boy era, or some of the things we are holding on to that are keeping us in that season of our life, and just working through that so we could reach where we could reach our full
Our
potential.
purpose, fulfill
Yes,
our
and that's what
purpose.
God wants for us. He
Yeah,
is
yeah.
for us higher than the highest human thoughts can reach is God's ideal for his children. God wants us to go above and beyond. So we have to ask ourselves, and even with his help and tapping into our communities,
Mm-hmm.
what is holding us back from that potential?
Yes,
So
yes.
thank
So we
you.
just want to remind you to be true to yourself.
Yes.
We're not perfect. Hey, girl, we're not. We're not.
Mm-mm.
But, through God, we can accomplish anything.
Amen.
But you need to be soft enough to realize, acknowledge, and accept that you can't do it on your own. And bold and strong enough to do what is necessary according to
Yes.
God's word and will
Yes.
to achieve what you need to and to fulfill your God given purpose.
Okay, so thank you for tuning in to the first episode of the What She Taught Me podcast, guys. Stay tuned for videos every week. We are excited to push this vision and this project forward. This is us tapping into our soft girl era and using that strong woman part to push the vision through. So please support us. We really hope that this conversation inspired you and ignited something within you.
Yeah.
And look forward to the next episode and what we have coming up.
Yeah, well, we have unfiltered conversations.
Between
A woman who has lived it,
a mother who has lived this,
and a daughter,
and a daughter, a girl, a woman who's still figuring it out, and
Yeah.
she's still figuring it out,
and a woman also who's still figuring it out,
and a young woman who has lived some of it.
Yes.
So stay tuned, guys. Please support us. Follow our Instagram page. Subscribe to our YouTube, our TikToks, and just stay in touch. Let us know your thoughts down in the comments, and we thank you so much for tuning in. Okay, we'll see ya.
Peace out.
Bye.